entertainment bullseye every week with her hard riding. Straight shooting. And suspense.
It's the Diablo stage.
Sure is, Annie.
Fellas all right?
I am. Can't say about Dave here.
I sure wish you'd have cut out on that fellow's Winchester a mite sooner, Miss Annie.
I couldn't get a line on him, Dave. Both our horses were going wide open.
I say they were. There's no one in the world could fire a shot like that but Annie Oakley.
Good heavens. Are you Annie Oakley?
She sure as thunder is.
Yes, I am.
Well, of all things. Arthur, don't just stand there and gawk. Say something.
I'm Arthur Blodgett. This is my sister Laura and my younger brother Merrihew.
And this is Lofty Craig, my uncle's deputy.
Hey, Mr. Craig, let me see your gun, will ya? Ow!
Sometimes I could wring his neck.
I know the feeling. I have a kid brother, too, and just wait till you meet him.
I suppose they're all alike. I don't know how to thank you. You've saved our lives and...
Oh, nonsense. You'll get used to things like stagecoach holdups if you stay around this country long. Are you stopping in Diablo?
We plan to make it our home. A Boston syndicate I represent has bought up several banks in the territory. And I plan to make the Diablo Bank the most important in the chain.
Show him the money, Art, the development money.
Development money, Mary.
Don't you call me Mary.
He just hates his name. And he's named after one of the largest bankers in the East. His grandfather, Jonathan Merrihew.
Grams hates it, too. Once I heard him bowl the daylights out of old Morgan for calling him Mary. Stinky, that's my name. That's what the gang back home calls me, Stinky.
Sometimes I could just sit down and cry.
I don't think it would do any good. Are you really carrying a lot of money?
$100,000. I plan to use it in developing the resources around Diablo.
Man, you really would have been a prize.
Tagg, if that isn't a name. Well, it's better than Mary. Your sister blab. My sister doesn't blab. She does, too. She does not. Is that your horse? Well, it isn't yours, is it? I've owned better. There ain't any better ones. I bet you can't even ride. Better than you. Any old woman could ride with a saddle like that. I ride English. That takes nerve. Meaning I haven't got any nerve? You heard me. Yeah, I heard you. I got more nerve than you have.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, if you got so much nerve, knock this chip off.
Think I'm scared to knock it off?
I know you're scared to.
Just for that, I will knock it off.
Well, why don't you?
If you say much more about it, I will knock it off.
Much more about it. Much more about it. There, why don't you knock it off?
You're daring me to knock it off.
I double dare you to knock it off.
Then I will knock it off.
Tag him in there,
Here, stop that. Stop that. Here.
The next time I catch you out, I'll give you more. He started it. He knocked the chip off.
I'll whip you every time I see you. He started it. He double dared me.
Of course he started it, Maryhugh. The little ruffian. Calling Tagg a ruffian. I most certainly am. Well, that's better than being a sissy, I guess. Are you calling Maryhugh a sissy? I sure am. If you weren't wearing that deputy sheriff's badge, I'd punch you. If you weren't wearing those glasses, I'd spread that nose all over your face. Oh, you would you?
Get what I gave Skip, brother!
Bust to his arms and legs, Art. You didn't give me nothing.
Knock his ears down, Lefty, that's the way!
Be quiet,
Smash his face!
Be quiet, Maryhugh.
Lofty, Craig, you get back in that sheriff's office this very minute. Arthur Blodgett, you get back into your bank where you belong.
Well, of all things.
I guess they'll never grow up. You know, I wouldn't have been surprised if it had been Tagg and your little brother.
Me either. What on earth do you suppose they were fighting about?
Well, one of them could have been cheating at marbles.
Well, I'd certainly like to know.
Say, we could find out if y'all would come over to the house for dinner tonight. Lofty shot a whole lot of quail this morning.
Why, we'd love to.
You're safe now. Yeah, that was quite a scrap you kids were having. Till the old folks stole your thunder.
Gosh, Mr. Lingard, we're just warming up. Weren't we, Stinky?
Yeah.
What was it all about? Politics?
Oh, he thinks he's so smart because his brother's a banker. Everybody knows there's no more than $10,000 in the old bank.
Oh, yeah? Well, if you want to know, there's $100,000 in it now.
$100,000? You're stretching that a bit, aren't you, son?
No, sir. I heard my brother tell Lofty Craig, and I saw the chest we brought it in. It's for development.
Huh? Well, you can sure buy an awful lot of development for $100,000.
What's devilment?
Ha! Don't know what development is.
Well, if you're so smart, tell me.
You got a horse.
Yeah, and a good one, too.
Well, if you get another horse, that's development.
Devilment? Devilment? There isn't such a thing as devilment. It's development. That's the trouble with you, Tenderfeet. Nobody can understand you because you don't say everything that's in a word. Devilment my foot.
Let's go ride your horse.
Okay, Sneaky.
Morning, Miss Annie.
Oh, hello, Webb. You going hunting?
Yeah, I thought I'd try for some quail. I understand there's plenty of them out at the springs.
Well, Lofty went out before daylight this morning. He says all you got to do is just put your gun up in the air and pull the trigger.
Hope my luck's as good. Incidentally, I understand you're a pretty good cook. If I do get any quail, maybe I'll ask you to broil some for me.
Oh, I'd be glad to.
what you wanted?
Yes, plus a lot of talk from Phil Colby. Tagg! You know that man could talk your right arm off when he's selling you a spool of thread? Put these in the other room, will you, honey?
Sure.
Where Blendgard dropped these shells when I was talking to him today. I didn't know he cared enough about hunting to reload his own ammunition.
Oh, these reloads?
Mm-hmm. Just put them in the desk and we'll give them back to him later.
Howdy, Webb.
Hello, Steve.
Thought you were going to steer clear of us for a while.
I wasn't followed, if that's what you're worried about. Besides, this is important.
Money, maybe?
It's the haul you boys missed on that stagecoach. $100,000.
That much, huh? Well, we did the best we could. What do you want us to do now? Take the bank?
No. No, that's too risky. There's another way to get that money, Steve. And more, without sticking our necks out.
I'm listening.
Did you ever sold a mine?
Several times in several ways.
Then you probably know the best method is to shoot the mine workings full of grain gold in small nuggets.
Yeah, that's the best way. Takes a little while to figure out if a mine has been tampered with.
Mm-hmm. There's your ammunition. I pulled the shot in these and filled them with nugget gold. It's all been assayed, so I know it's high grade.
Well, all we need now is a mine.
I've got that, too. The old Taylor mine.
Yeah, I know those diggings. They're plumb worthless. How'd you get hold of it?
Jim Taylor lost it to me in a poker game about a year ago, just before he died.
You got all the rights?
I sure have. All legal.
Now, let's see if I'm keeping up with you. You want me to get the boys and go over to the old Taylor mine and salt it. And then you're going to sell it to the bank in Diablo?
I'm going to sell it to the tenderfoot who's running the bank in Diablo.
Blodgett.
Yeah. How long will it take you to do the job?
Oh, I don't know. When the boys get back with the horses, we should be able to get out there in a couple of hours.
It's perfect. I'll go back to town and start working on our tenderfoot banker.
I can hardly believe it. These samples are almost pure gold.
It is amazing, isn't it?
And you say you've owned this mine nearly a year?
That's right. Of course, I haven't said much about my puttering around out there. I fear people would laugh at me. Incidentally, Mr. Blodgett, since you're new to the area, I feel I should caution you against mentioning this to anyone. We don't want a gold stampede.
Oh, most certainly not.
Well, I've really enjoyed meeting you, sir. I hope maybe you can come in on this once I get my basic financing.
Oh, but I don't understand, Mr. Lingard. I thought you came here for that.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, but I'm afraid the Diablo Bank wouldn't be strong enough. You see, I'll need $250,000 over the period of the next 6 months. I'll need $100,000 in cash almost immediately.
This isn't the old Diablo Bank, Mr. Lingard. Through our Eastern connections, we can supply you with all the funds you need.
Really? Well, it's nice to know the bank's in such sound condition. Naturally, if it could be arranged, I would like to see the local people share in my good fortune.
Oh, but of course, of course. Now, don't you worry about your financing. We'll take care of all that.
Oh, wonderful. In that case, I suggest you keep these samples. And maybe tomorrow morning, you and I can ride out to the mine. Let you see it for yourself.
Splendid. Anytime you say.
9 o'clock, all right?
Fine. Meet you at the bank.
Mr. Blodgett?
How many more shells we got left?
2. I always did say the only way to get gold out of this mine would be to put it in here in the first place. Pretty good job you're doing on it, Mr. Sanders.
What are you doing here, Pop?
Oh, just prospecting. Looks like I struck pay dirt, too. Who we selling it to?
We?
Why, sure. I'm in on the deal now.
Where you headed?
Oh, just tie up my burro so we can talk over our deal.
brought you the empty shells. Figured you'd know the best way to get rid of them.
Did you get them all?
Sure.
What's the matter?
Nothing.
All right. I'll head back to town by way of the springs. Scatter these around like I've been shooting quail. I'll keep you boys posted.
Good. Did you pick up those last 2 shells I fired over at the mine?
No, I thought you did.
Well, then we gotta go get them.
Why, are they that important?
Murder's pretty important, Sam. Come on.
I found Pop in his burro out in Dark Canyon. The burro had been shot, too. There's plenty of sign. Will you tell your uncle?
I can't. The sheriff's in Tucson on business, and Lofty Craig just left to serve a warrant. I'll have to go myself. Oh, would you take Pop's body over to Doc Baker's, please?
Oh, sure, Miss Annie.
Tagg, you stay here and watch things.
Like fish, I will. I'm going with you.
Well, then there won't be anybody here.
It'll give the office a rest. Maybe offices like a rest.
But I want you to stay here.
And I want to go with you.
Oh, Tagg, why won't you ever do what I want you to do?
Because you never want me to do what I want to do.
Trail's plain from where we found the dead burro, Tagg. There were 2 horses with him. It leads this way. Oh. Slow down, boy. Take it easy, Tagg. We're looking for evidence.
Maybe that's some there. There was a heel off of one of Pop Wade's boots. Freshly torn off, too. He hadn't walked on it.
Hey, Tagg, you're improving. With those tracks, it looks like he was dragged out of the mine over to his burro. That means he must have been killed inside. Just circle around slowly, Tagg, and then work your way toward the center.
All right. What are we looking for?
Oh, I'm looking for these.
Are they what killed Pop, Annie?
I think so, Tagg, and I think I know who they belong to.
Who's the murderer, Annie? Huh? Tell me who the
Hush,
murderer.
Tagg, I'm trying to put things together.
Well, put them together out loud, will you, Annie?
Later. I've got to get back to town. Into the mine, Tagg.
Can't see him.
They're there, they gotta be.
Just keep throwing lead. Just a matter of time before we can go down and get them.
Hey, Annie, come on over here, quick. Look. We can get out of here if you're not too fat.
If anybody ever wrings your neck, boy, it's gonna be me. Come on.
Yeah, we follow them all right, but not right now. It ought to be sundown in about an hour. You get back to the cabin and get Bill. After dark, meet me in the cottonwood grove outside Diablo.
Ain't that dangerous?
Yeah, but we're playing with murder, and that's dangerous, too.
Okay, Stinky McGee, get in there.
You can't do this to me. I know my rights.
Get in there.
I don't understand the meaning of all this, but I do know I don't intend to stay here any longer.
You got it, Annie.
Looks like your waiting's over, Webb. This is Doc Baker's report of an autopsy performed on the body of Pop Wade. He was murdered today at Taylor's mine. Pop was killed by one of the most expensive bullets ever fired. He was shot by a double blast of shotgun shells, and the shells were loaded with pure nugget gold.
Incredible.
You dropped these today when I was talking to you, Webb. And they match these. And these 2 unfired shells were reloaded with gold nuggets.
Why would anybody want to load a shotgun shell with gold nuggets?
Usually to salt a mine, Mr. Blodgett.
Oh?
What have you to tell us, Lofty?
Well, after you came over here, Lingard, I went to your office and got your shotgun.
You dared to do that?
Peace officer trying to solve a murder dares do a lot of things. I took your gun over to the assay office and had him run a simple test on the barrels. You know, you got a mighty valuable gun there. The barrels are practically lined with gold.
Well, that still doesn't prove I had anything to...
Don't prove nothing, Webb. Come on in, boys. We got a horse waiting for you outside. Head west. We'll catch up with you just as soon as we take care of these people.
That's what you were trying to sell me. A salted mine.
And if Stinky's still looking for a devilment, we've got all kinds of them around here. Huh, Stinky? You bet, Tagg.
Annie Oakley hits the entertainment bullseye every week with her hard riding. Straight shooting. And suspense.
Corporal! No more firing. Sound recall.
There's nobody left to recall. The whole detail's been wiped out. Even the bugler's just a kid. Report to the major. He'll march up here with a full troop. We'll wipe out those savages to the last man.
Hope he never gave us trouble before.
Well, they gave us some now. We lost more than a herd of horses, Stan. We lost 6 troopers. Ride to Fort Banning. Yo! Where'd you fellas come from?
It was headed for Duke Martine's ranch, and we seen this redskin here riding his cavalry horse. And we heard shots further up the canyon.
Who shot the Indian?
We did. Like I told Steve here, what's an Indian doing with an army-branded horse in a McClellan saddle? I hollered at him, but he wouldn't stop, so we shot him. He's a Hopi.
We do right, Sergeant?
You did fine. I wish you'd have been here an hour ago. Maybe he can tell us what Hopi warrior led that raid.
I'm afraid not, Sergeant. We shot him pretty dead.
There's still a spark of life. Let's get him to a doctor. Come on.
If redskin lives long enough to talk, we're in trouble.
You fellas ride out front. Show me the shortest trail to town.
Now, for our history lesson today, we'll discuss the Hopi Indians.
Have you ever seen them do the snake dance, sis? Do they really put live snakes in their mouths?
Yes, Tagg, but it's a religious ceremony. A prayer to the gods for rain. You know, they're an agricultural tribe. The men till the soil, and the women are expert at weaving baskets and making pottery, and they...
Who's in command around here?
My Uncle Luke's the sheriff.
Uncle Luke's away this week.
Well, who's in charge when the sheriff's not here?
His deputy, Lofty Craig.
Lofty's out of town, too.
Well, who's in charge when he's not here?
Well, I guess I am.
I suppose when the blonde's out of town, the office is run by this kid here. Who runs the place when you're not here, the Easter Bunny?
Annie, it's Lolomai.
Put him right in there, Doctor, and use one of those cots.
The jail cell's too good for him. He ought to be lynched.
What are you talking about?
Ask him. That Indian and his warriors ambushed a cavalry detail.
Well, you must be mistaken. The Hopis are a peaceful tribe.
Oh, are they? Well, the Hopis just killed 6 good troopers out in Dead Man's Canyon.
Why would the Hopis make such an unwarranted attack?
Because I was taking a herd of horses to Fort Banning, and they wanted the horses.
I just sold a herd of horses to the Army. My partner, Cliff Dodge, and I.
That's the herd, Mr. Martine. Those redskins got away with every last horse. Looks like you and your partner will get a chance to sell us another herd.
Sergeant, I can play every bugle call in the cavalry, from reveille to taps. How old does a fella have to be before he can enlist as a bugler?
Don't enlist, son. Not in the cavalry. I just had to bury my bugle boy.
Me? Yeah, shot.
Please don't let him exert himself too much.
Sergeant, alone I can hardly speak above a whisper. But he said the Hopis weren't anywhere near that canyon today. That he was riding out there alone and heard the shots, but he didn't have anything to do with it.
He's a liar. These men caught him riding a horse that belonged to Trooper Davis. Ask him where he got the horse.
But Aloni, tell me about the horse.
If
He says they gave it to him.
Why would Steve and me get a cavalry horse, and why would we give it to the Hopi?
Lalonai, why did they give you the horse?
Give Hopi, give me mount, they shoot.
He says they gave him the horse as a gift from the white men to the Hopis. And as soon as he got on the horse, they shot him.
No Redskin's gonna make any accusation like that against me.
What's the matter with you, Dodge?
This Indian's in the doctor's care, and he's also in mine. So don't either of you guys try anything like that again.
They won't, Miss Oakley. Get out, both of you.
Sergeant, I know Dr. Sharp will do everything that he can to save Lalomai's life. Can I count on you to guard his life?
He's gonna need a lot of guarding. When word gets around what those Indians did to that cavalry squad, there's a lot of civilians gonna want to take him out and string him up.
That's just what I mean. So can I count on you?
Well, I don't like the idea of guarding, but I will.
Thanks, Sergeant. I'll ride out to the Hopi village and see what Chief Benito knows about this.
Sis! Hey, sis! I'm going with you.
No, Tagg, you stay here.
Why? If the Hopis are as peaceful as you say they are, why would they hurt me?
Oh, so the pupil is putting the teacher in the corner now, huh? All right, smart aleck.
Where'd the kid go? Rode up the other rim. What for? How do I know?
I think I found something. A lot of horse tracks where the Indians hid to ambush the soldiers. Annie, can a blacksmith remember what kind of shoes he put on a horse?
Well, he might. Why?
Then if we can find the blacksmith who shod the horses, he can tell us what tribe they were.
There's only one thing wrong with your reasoning, Tagg. Indians don't use blacksmiths.
Then who shoes their horses?
Nobody. The horses don't wear shoes.
But the horses, they all wore iron shoes. I even found one.
Say, does that look like a horseshoe? Yes, with leather on it. Like the one missing from your nag.
It's a corrective shoe for a horse with a hoof injury. Come on, Tagg. We won't need to see Chief Benito now.
She starts showing that around to the blacksmiths.
I'll catch him, sis.
Don't you dare move from this spot. Tagg Oakley, if those ambushers don't get you, I will. I'll give you the whipping of your life.
That sounds like an army bugle. Yeah, and they're blowing charge. Let's get out of here.
How am I doing, sis?
Tagg Oakley, you're a trooper. In fact, you're more than a trooper. You're a whole regiment.
Thought you were running a horse ranch for me.
Not 24 hours a day. What's new, Duke? The Indian still in jail?
And still alive. Still claims you and Brander shot him.
Well, what would you do if you saw a redskin riding an army horse?
He still claims you and Steve gave him the horse.
So he's still a liar.
Look, Dodge, you and me made a deal when we went into partnership. To play square.
Well, haven't we?
I don't know. How about you, I mean?
I've built up a pretty good horse business for you. The cavalry in town yet?
What cavalry?
From Fort Banning to attack the Hopi village.
They can't get here till late tomorrow night. It's a long ride.
Well, then how come I heard a bugle up in Dead Man's Canyon this afternoon?
What were you doing there?
Just riding through.
If you ever put me into a pocket, I'll cut you in half. At close range with a Colt 44.
You don't scare me a bit, Duke. You used to be a soldier, but you're not a soldier now. And I'm not in your army. You used to be yellow when you were in the army, Sergeant Martin. I think that you're still yellow.
Come on, Jack. Let's have another deal of the cards. For an ex-sergeant of the cavalry. Yellow ex-sergeant.
The Indian's gonna live? Unless we see that he don't.
She might be looking for a man with a clipped wing.
Or a blacksmith.
Stable the horses, Tagg.
All right, Annie.
How is he?
Oh, Doc says he'll be all right. If somebody don't lynch him.
Well, you're not going to let him.
No, it's still my duty to protect the heathen, unfortunately. Oh, here's a telegram from the sheriff. He can't be here. He's going to be delayed, but he's sending Lofty Craig. Is Lofty a male or female deputy?
He's a male.
About the size of your kid brother?
No, smaller. He's the Easter Bunny, only 6'4".
Well, here's another one for you to put away, Tagg.
It's sure time you got back, Lofty. Boy, will Annie be glad to see you.
She will, huh? Did she say that?
You bet she did.
Exactly what did your sister say about
Let me see now.
her exact words now?
She said, if that Lofty Craig doesn't come back soon...
Yeah, go on.
Sheriff Luke ought to hire himself another deputy, she said. That Lofty Craig, he's wasting the taxpayers' money. That's what she said.
As soon as I finish with this gun, I'll put on some coffee. Would you like a cup, Sergeant?
Enough to desert the army.
Sergeant, the door. Sergeant, you've been shot.
Just my leg.
How about you, little Omar?
No.
Then I did my stinking duty.
I'll...
We haven't got time to change the brands on those nags now. As soon as the others get here, we'll drive for the border.
Unbuckle your gun belts. Let them drop. Don't try it. He can't get away very far. Neither can you.
What you mean?
When I'm finished talking, you'll have the whole United States Army after you. To say nothing of the Hopi tribe. Oh, you'll be lucky if the Army gets hold of you first. You can count on them to be nice. They'll hang you. I hate to think what the Indians will do to you.
Oh, give us a chance, Duke.
One chance. Go find Dodge. Tell him I'll meet him tonight at midnight at the Four Aces.
What for?
To match guns with him. Tell him I won't talk till we meet. If Dodge beats me, I can't talk. That makes sense, doesn't it?
No, it don't make sense. What you want to match guns with him for? You, the yellow ex-sergeant.
It's a personal reason, Steve. You just said it.
Tagg, there's one more thing I'd like to ask you. When you saw that herd of horses in the corral this afternoon, did you get close enough to recognize any of the brands?
Duke Martine's, Brad.
Well, Sergeant, now you know what really happened. The Lomai and the Hopi tribe had nothing to do with that ambush.
Yeah, I guess I owe somebody an apology. I'm sorry, Injun.
And we can't blame Duke Martine either.
Well, the Army paid him a fair price for those remounts. He was satisfied with the deal.
But his partner wasn't. He saw a chance to rustle those horses back.
Rebrand the herd and sell it over again on his own.
And then blame the whole incident on the Hopi tribe by having all of his riders dressed as Indians.
In exactly 1 hour at the Four Aces, Duke Martine gives Cliff Dodge a chance to kill him.
I'm going with you, Lofty.
Thanks, Annie. But they wouldn't let you pass the door. No ladies ever get into the Four Aces.
But it won't be a fair fight. It can't be. With Dodge and Brander and all of the men that work for him, they've got to kill Martine. It's their only chance.
That's why I'll be there.
Now, Lofty, you're not going alone.
You don't have to go alone, ma'am. I got a score to settle myself. 5 troopers and a bugle boy.
The Lomai go too. For peace between Hopi and white men.
You both stay here. Doc says you need a week's rest in bed. Don't let him out of here, Annie.
Wait till the Army hears about this. You got no right to hold me in this jail.
Oh, you're not in jail. You're in a hospital with bars on it.
Hey, what's the idea?
Well, they won't allow ladies in the Four Aces, but they will let a soldier in. Thanks for the loan of the uniform, Sergeant.
Wait a second. Wait a second. You're a civilian. If the Army catches you in that uniform, it's a federal offense.
And if they catch you without this uniform on, Sergeant, it's a court-martial offense.
Look. You won't let me in the cavalry on account I'm a kid. What do you let my sister in? She's a girl.
Well, if she don't scare the Indians back on the reservation, nobody can.
Well, I'll say.
No remarks from you, O'Hara. Let's have a little dignity on this post.
Get out of here.
Get out yourself. After all, you're only a local deputy sheriff. You can't give orders to the United States Cavalry.
only 2 of you. I expected more.
All right, you men stand over there against the door.
Well, it looks like a clean wound, Mr. Martin.
Small enough price to pay. As long as I got Cliff Dodge.
All right, outside.
Why did you want to get him all by yourself?
Personal reason. I was in the cavalry myself once. General Custer at the Little Bighorn. Got scared, ran out, deserted. For years, I've wanted a chance to make up for it. Facing that cavalry killer doesn't really make up for it. But it helps.
It helps a lot, Mr. Martin.
I never thought I'd see the day when I'd be in the same cell with an Injun. How?
Take old mate.
Report for Sergeant O'Hara. Holy smoke, what are you in jail for?
For being wounded. What's the report?
The major's on his way, and with a full troop, we'll wipe those Indians clean off the map, Sarge.
Right back. Tell the major there's no war with the Hopis.
You heard the order, Corporal. Start riding.
All right to the major, Annie.
Something bothering you, Corporal?
You, ma'am. Sergeant.
Any questions, Corporal?
Just one. Sergeant, ma'am, where are you stationed? I want to put in a transfer.
Bullseye! Annie Oakley hits the entertainment bullseye every week with her hard riding.
Gosh, Annie, I don't see how you manage to hit it every time.
Well, it's easy, Tagg. Once you learn to see just the bullseye and nothing else, then all you have to do is point your gun at it and pull the trigger.
Well, that's all you have to do. Me, I hit everything but what I'm aiming at.
Well, that's because you're looking at everything. Tagg, what do you think about when you're doing your arithmetic lesson?
Annie, you know how I feel about arithmetic.
Mm-hmm. And that's just why you're no good at shooting all your lessons. Your attention's just like a gun. You aim it at what you want, hold it there, and then don't think of anything else. Lecture's over. Come on, I'll race you to the big oak.
You're on.
All set?
They're ready to go.
All right, let's go. We don't want to come barging in here and scare our friends.
It's Annie Oakley and that kid brother of hers. If she finds out what we're up to, she'll go gunning for us.
Annie, look.
Tagg, look over there. Hey, there's Mr. Hoppity.
Hey, Mr. Hoppity. You knew we'd come, didn't you? You were just waiting for us, weren't you, fella?
Look what we brought you, Mr. Hoppity.
Isn't he cute, Annie? I wish we could take him home. But I guess he's a lot happier here than he would be in town.
And a lot safer. Goodbye, Mr. Hoppity. We'll see you tomorrow.
So long, fella. Boy, after that race, I'm just drying up with thirst.
Well, the canteen's empty, so we'll fill both you and it at the pool. Come on, Tagg. Horses first, Tagg. They won't muddy the water, and it'll give us a chance to cool off.
Okay, but my tongue's hanging out of your eye.
Come on.
Looks like they're aiming to take a drink. So what? Nobody can pin anything on us.
Now, Target, you be a gentleman and don't splash. Come on. Target, whoa, Target, what's the matter with you? Whoa, Target. Whoa, boy. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's the matter with you?
Looks like you don't want to drink.
Maybe. Target, what's wrong with you anyway?
You know, you're acting just plain selfish.
Wait, maybe he isn't, Tagg. Maybe there is something wrong with that water.
It looks okay to me.
Yeah, but Target wouldn't touch it. And if there is something wrong with it, we've got to find out about it right away. We can't let our little friends get sick on tainted water. Here, Tagg. Hold the horses.
What's she doing? Looks like she is. She's taking a sample of the water. We'd better head back for town.
Ride, Tagg. We haven't time to be careful.
You know, Lofty, when we were riding through Annie's Ark this morning, I had the feeling that, well, that we were being watched. And not by just the animals.
Could be poachers. Hope I'd have noticed if they'd left any tracks.
Annie? Oh, Annie. Annie, girl. Ah, she's not here. Well, help yourself to the pie. It's fresh. Annie baked it this morning.
Thanks. I never refuse a piece of Annie's pie.
Uncle Luke! Something's wrong with the water in the lower pool.
Target wouldn't let Annie drink from it. He nearly dropped on her, keeping her away.
You didn't drink any yourself, Tagg.
I didn't have a chance to.
I took a sample so Mr. Porter could have it analyzed. If it is tainted, we've got to get it fenced in before the animals come to drink at sunset. Oh, here, Tagg, take this and get it washed out real good.
Right.
Don't go away. I'll be right back.
Didn't I say somebody was watching us? And whoever that somebody was, he could have thrown something into the water.
Well, if Target wouldn't drink it, that something must be poison. No color. No smell. I'll have to test it to find out what it is. But you needn't wait. I'll bring the report over as soon as it's ready.
Please hurry, Mr. Porter. There isn't a minute to lose.
I'll be as quick as I can. You got me into this mess, Blake. Now look what's happened. I'd rather have bloodhounds on my trail with Annie Oakley.
But she's played right into our hands bringing you that sample of water.
I still don't like it, I tell you.
Listen, Sam. All we have to do is to show that that land isn't fit for a game preserve and the money's in the bank. And $50,000 is a lot more than we'll ever get out of that hole in the ground that you said was a gold mine.
All right, I'll make up a phony analysis.
Now you're talking. We'd better get back to that mine. Who put it there? Who put what where? The money in the bag. Nobody has yet, but Mr. Percival Adams will, day after tomorrow.
Please, Annie, you're wearing out the carpet. Why don't you relax?
Why doesn't he come? It shouldn't have taken him this long.
Sorry I'm late.
Did you find out anything, Mr. Porter?
I did. Arsenic in exceedingly large quantities.
Arsenic?
Well, who'd want to put arsenic in the water?
Well, no one, Mr. McTavish. It probably washed down with the rains. You see, arsenic is present in some mineralized areas, like Annie's Ark.
Oh, we've got to get up there, fast.
What about Tagg?
We'll be back before he gets home from school.
I still don't see how arsenic got in here naturally. There's not enough minerals around here worth sinking a spade for.
If there had been, old Hiram Brown wouldn't have willed the land to the animals. He was so tight-fisted, he made the Scot and me green with envy.
Annie got the ark out of him. But then, Annie can get anything out of anybody. Are you figuring the animals are going to read that sign?
I'm figuring somebody might come along that's thirsty enough to climb that fence.
About something? I brush my teeth without you asking me to.
That's hitting the bullseye.
What were you thinking about, sis?
Oh, about animals. But mostly about the deer and fawns. You know, Tagg, fawns are the most wonderful children in the whole world. Well, I've seen them stand by their mother for 5 whole minutes without moving when she thought danger was near. They don't go rushing ahead. Not until their mother tells them it's safe because, well, they know what she tells them to do is for their own good. Just like me telling you to wash your face and eat your vegetables.
But you're not my mom.
No. But someone had to be since ours died.
I'm sure glad you got that fence up so the animals can't drink that water.
So am I, Tagg. So am I. Go on to bed now.
Okay. Night.
Night.
Well, now they'll have to fence this pool in. Come on, Dad, let's get to work. We got to cover up our tracks.
See? I came down here to drink at dawn. That was the end of them.
How many did you find, Lofty?
About half a dozen. Reckon the rest of them stayed in the hills and drank from the streams.
Oh, Mr. Hoppity.
Mr. Hoppity?
He was Tagg's pet. He used to come and eat out of our hands. We can't leave him here like this.
We won't, Annie. As soon as we get a spade, we'll bury it.
The ground's soft. I think I could manage with a sharpened stick.
Well, we better get back to town and get something to build a fence with.
If Annie has to give up the ark, it's going to bust her heart wide open.
Yes, I know. Since the poison seeps into the pools naturally, I see nothing we can do about it. We'll be back in a little while, Annie.
Now, where'd they go? No, Annie's still there.
They'll go away. All the birds and bear and deer and Mr. Hoppity's family. And be shot down by people who just like to hit a moving target. Unless you do something about it. You're the only one who can. We're putting our trust in you to save and protect your children. Amen. None of us were wearing hobnail boots.
What's she doing? I don't know. She's found something. I bet we didn't wipe out all our tracks.
Sounds like those rifle shots are coming from back there.
You crazy fools.
Up there on the rocks.
44-40s. There were two of them. One of them wore hobnail boots. What's the idea of paying a call on Sam Porter?
Find out where a person can get arsenic around here.
They could get it from Sam. He's a chemist.
Clothes. Maybe he's around back.
But why would anyone poison the animals?
That's something we've got to find out. What's the matter?
Hobnail boots. Where'd you get that?
From a print by the upper pool.
Can't be Sam's. It's not the right size or weight.
It could be Ward Blake's or Dan Ferris's. They're partners in Mr. Porter's mine.
Yeah. I think I'll have a talk with those boys.
Lofty! Lofty, wait! Finding a track isn't proof that Blake or Ferris put the poison in those pools.
If those boots belong to them, we can prove they were up there.
They could bury the boots and the rifle and claim they didn't know anything about it. We've got to find out first whether or not Mr. Porter's analysis of that water was right.
If it wasn't, it would tie him into the scheme, and his partners along with him. Nice work, Annie. I'll get some water from the pool.
No, Lofty. We've got to have the sample of Mr. Porter analyzed. Otherwise, he could say it wasn't the same as we gave him.
Wonder if he's throwing it away.
Why should he? Nobody'd question his word. We didn't till we found the boot print.
Okay. I'll get that bottle.
Oh, wait, you can't do that. We mustn't let him know we suspect him. Leave it to me. I'll get that bottle.
Are you sure about that?
Of
course it was Annie. Nobody can shoot like she does, and she got away with that bottle.
How did she suspect you?
I don't know. If we'd only used arsenic in the beginning, but I never thought about it.
That little mistake is liable to put us in jail. What in blazes are you doing with this?
They told me to get rid of the sign.
You dumbhead. Why didn't you hide it in the bushes like it had fallen?
What did he take this for?
If Adams finds out it's a game preserve, he won't have anything to do with it. And he's going over there this morning.
Is Adams here?
He came in on the train last night. You'd better have a talk with him. I'm going into town and get that bottle.
Uncle Luke, what would happen to the Ark if it couldn't be used as a game preserve?
Well, according to the terms of the will, it'd go back to old man Brown's estate. His nephew, Sam Porter, would inherit it.
Sam Porter?
Lofty, will you take that sample of water to Mr. Jones in Parkville?
Where'd you get it, Annie?
It's in the living room.
You'll need a fresh horse to make good time. We'll arrange it.
Be right back, Annie.
I want Mr. Jones to analyze that as quick as he can.
Right.
What you looking for?
A bottle.
You missed.
No, I didn't. I just marked his hat so the next time I see him, I'll know him.
Was that the bottle you swiped from Mr. Porter, Annie?
The man who took it thought it was. But I figured somebody was going to try and steal it, so I took another bottle and filled it with water from the pump. Then I hid the real one here somewhere. But it's gone.
Is this what you're looking for, Annie?
Tagg, what are you doing with that bottle? You didn't drink any of it.
I didn't notice the writing on it, and I was going to use it for pollywogs. But I didn't drink any.
Oh, Tagg, to think of you playing with a bottle of poisoned water. Oh.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning. I'm Annie Oakley, and this is my little brother, Tagg.
What were you doing?
We're taking samples of the rock, of the ore. I'm a geologist. My name is Adams.
How do you do? Mr. Adams, if you're a geologist, could you tell me if there's anything worthwhile around here? I mean, anything that's worth a lot of money?
Well, sure. That hill there. It's solid cement.
Cement?
Yes, the company that I represent is offering a Mr. Porter quite a lot of money for it.
Mr. Porter?
Yes?
It don't belong to him.
It certainly doesn't. This is a game preserve.
A game preserve?
We've got to tell Uncle Luke and Lofty about the cement.
Tagg?
I wouldn't tell anybody anything, Miss Oakley.
I don't understand.
You will. Put your hands up and get moving.
Let's forget this whole deal, Adams.
It's too late for that, Porter. Now that I know the score, I'm not settling for any measly geologist fee. You're cutting me in on a profits.
An honest fee is better than a profit you'll never get, Adams.
You never spoke a truer word, Annie.
Get on back there.
How does she figure in this?
Don't worry about her. She won't be around long.
No, I won't be a party to any murder.
Lofty Craig's coming up the trail.
Just a minute, Adams. You wanted in this, now you're in it.
Oh, no, you don't. No. Get back there.
guns.
All right. You can't go up there. We'll get lofty.
They got that water analyzed, Annie. It wasn't arsenic they put in it.
It was a poison much worse.
Well, you can't blame me. I didn't know what Sam was up to.
You knew enough to poison the pools.
See? I told you I marked his hat.
I bet our friends are sure glad the poison's all cleared out of there.
Thanks to Annie.
Yeah, it wasn't easy to get evidence on those perfidious scoundrels.
It was for Annie. When she aims at something, bullseye.